Good morning, everybody. I don't even know what the heck day it is. I think it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. This morning on the coffee run, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a conversation I was having last night with a amazingly awesome previous client of mine. Now, this is someone who I've been working with on and off since we worked out it was 2014, and we've been chatting about different things for her around what it was. Hey, Jez, around what it was that she wanted to do. She's had a baby. She's had like different life circumstances happen, right? And so, like we were chatting about, if money was no issue, if time was no issue, and if there were zero obstacles and things like that, what would you be doing? So just as a little aside, if you've ever been confused, overwhelmed, worried, stuck, those are some really great questions that you can ask yourself in order to just make sure that you're actually on purpose, to be very kind of coachy and stuff about it. So the thing with that, what that means is that you are doing the thing that you're here to do. You're sharing the stuff that you need to share. You're doing work that lights you up, that fills you with joy and adds great value into the world. So that's really great and awesome. But and she said, oh, look, I'd be doing ABC. And I said, okay, great. So this girl, just to put you, this woman, just to put you in the picture, as someone who she does a lot of done for you stuff. Hey, Mike, haven't seen you for ages. Does done for you stuff. So she'll go in and set up your funnels. She'll set up your ads. She'll manage your ads for you and things like that. And one of the things that I said to her, actually, she said to me was, but there are so many Facebook ad experts out there. And I've kind of gone, yeah, preaching to the choir. And she said, there are so many people out there, is it just oversaturated? Am I just seeing it because it's what I'm talking about and what I'm kind of putting out there? And I just thought, look, here's the thing. Yes, there are a lot of people out there who are doing it, but for the most part, they haven't. My watch is trying to talk to me. For the most part, they have not actually done things in the way that you have. So this is a woman who has applied this knowledge through her teaching, through coaching, through health coaching, through e-commerce business, all for her own businesses, right? As well as doing it for other people. Hey, Andrea, good morning. So I said, there's all of these other people out there that go and spend $97 on how to be an agency owner or how to be a Facebook ads expert or whatever, but it doesn't actually mean. And they're charging $3,000 a month, by the way, for the privilege. I said, it's absolute bullshit. And what's happening is that there are people like you, like me, like other people out there who are being absolutely bent over and reamed. Sorry for the graphic, but it's just like you're being completely taken advantage of. You are being completely hoodwinked because you don't know what it is that you need to do. And so people have been putting their trust in these other people to do the right thing, where often those other people don't even know what the fuck they're doing. And so this is kind of what we got a little bit opinionated about. And then we started talking about the fact that there are lots of programs out there that are kind of like, well, I'm going to teach you how to be a health coach. And that person, as an example, that person becomes a health coach and they're like, okay, so now I'm going to go and teach other people how to be a health coach. It's bullshit. It's so freaking incestuous. The industries, it's just completely ridiculous. So we spent probably about 45 minutes banging on about how unfortunate it is for the masses actually to be seeing the kind of advertising and be seeing the kind of marketing that's being put out there, because you just don't know. So I said, there's a really big opportunity for you, as someone who has been doing this for 4 years in multiple industries, for yourself and for other people. It's a really great way for you to be able to stand out. And I actually also said, if you've got some really strong opinions on this, This is also the stuff that you need to share. If she was getting really ranty and not pissed off with me, but pissed off, at the state of it all. And I said, that's the stuff that you need to share. So how this helps you guys is if there is something that you're just like, that should not be done, or things can be done in a so much, not very good English, Nicola, in a much better way than what the gurus are doing them or the typical people are doing them, then talk about it, right? Get on your soapbox, share your opinion. It doesn't have to be in the way that I do mine, but I think that part of the problem with a lot of these agencies and a lot of these companies that do, or even individuals actually that do these done for you stuff, the problem with it is that they say, yep, you know what, we'll do it all, we'll take it all over, we'll do it all for you. But then at the end of your contract or at the end of your agreement, you're like, I don't know how to manage this now. I don't know how to do this. So with the done for you stuff that I've done, it always includes a training element. There is always a handover with, okay, and videos and a session and yada, yada. It's like, this is how you're actually going to take this on for yourself. Because I think it's kind of like breeding dependency, right? It's like, if I'm not teaching you how to be self-sufficient, then that's actually really crappy. I think we don't want to make people be dependent. You want to keep stringing people along on prescription after prescription after prescription after prescription, right? I think, to me, the moral and ethical thing to do, unless they want to keep paying you for infinitum, but if you get bored or if you decide you don't want to do it anymore, then you can be kind of like tied in to an agreement doing shit you don't want to do. And then that then has a flow-on effect. It's like it's taking you away from your own, I guess, almost like evolution of where it is that you're going to be, where it is that you're supposed to end up, and all of this type of thing. Andrew, I've just gone through this and it's killed my business. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm assuming that that's you hired someone to do that stuff for you. Is that what you mean? It's just, I hear stories literally every single day. People who have spent, $3,000 a month plus advertising, $4,000, $5,000 a month plus advertising, and they're kind of left at the mercy of whoever it is that they've bought from, with no training to be able to take it on. I've seen in groups, and the lady I was talking to last night is in a bunch of groups, and they're like, okay, cool. So, they've gone through some kind of this is how you do Facebook ads course, right? For other people, this is how you run an agency course or whatever. And like the people, like she actually said that there are people who have gone, okay, great. So I've gone and followed your instructions. I've got these clients now, but how do I do Facebook ads? Like, what the heck? Seriously, where is the duty of care? Where is the ethics? I just think it's really, really wrong, and it's happening over and over and over again. And she said, yes, and there was no handover. It's my fault, but I thought it was the right thing to do. It's just crap. It's actually not good enough, and I'm really, really sorry that happened to you. Depending on when it happened, perhaps you could go back and ask for some instruction videos on how you manage it, and actually, most importantly, how you track it. How do you track the conversions, and get some help on how to understand that, so that it's not just all, gone up in dust and flames. And that's, hopefully that they will be able to accommodate that. Even if it's not in an agreement, you should still have a handover so that you know what you're doing. It's just crazy. Anyway, that's that. So, I didn't get on here this morning to get ranty at you about all, well, I kind of did actually, because it got me fired up last night. But the point more that I wanted to share with you is there are so many things in my industry. So my stuff kind of crosses over a few different things. It crosses over mindset coaching, it crosses over business coaching, it crosses over internet marketing, it crosses over, all of these, like quite a few different industries. And I guess there are so many things that I see, and it's why I'm really, and I have been for a long time, really vocal on what I think is the right thing to do and the right way to treat people and the right way to deliver programs. And I'm not just going to teach you how to do a Facebook ad, if I'm not doing that anymore, by the way, but if I was, and I had been for years, it's like, I'm not just going to teach you how to do a Facebook ad. I'm actually going to teach you how to be really certain that what you're talking about and what you're doing is right, how you write your copy. Yes, how you create the ad technically, but that you can go and look at a tutorial on Google for how to do that. It's more around how you manage the conversions. It's what you do after that. It's your mindset. It's your offer. It's your whole funnel process. It's a strategy. It's not just a tactic. So, there I got a little rant again. So, I don't teach that stuff anymore, FYI. So this is not some, snuck in sales pitch or anything. But the point is there are so many things that I think is just absolutely bollocks throughout this whole industry that it gives me a lot to be really opinionated about. And I've been doing this for a really long time. I've been in this business since 2010. I had an e-commerce business before that, in person business. And, I just think there are lots of things that a lot of people don't do the right way. In people who are in leadership positions or position themselves into leadership positions, right? I think we really have a very big duty of care to really do the right thing by people. That's my little opinion on that. So how this works for you, how this applies for you. Take a look at your industry. And yesterday, yesterday I was talking about sharing the stuff that goes on in your normal everyday world and talking about it. So yesterday was a really shitty day. Well, actually, it wasn't really shitty. I was just up in my head yesterday, all of yesterday morning, and I was refusing, essentially, to do the work that I needed to do in order to release the block, in order to be able to do what I needed to do. So I was my own worst enemy yesterday. Just chucking a bit of a tantrum around, wow, I don't have anything to share, I don't have anything to talk about, and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that but that was exactly the whole point. So yesterday was more about sharing pieces of you and your life and your thinking and your world, right? So if you haven't watched the live from yesterday, go back and watch it. I'm in my bathers and sitting by the pool because it was like 9,000 degrees. Then today it's more about, okay, so we've got the personal angle and sharing our personal experiences. Today it's a little bit more, all right, let's look at our industry, look at where we're playing and what are the things that we think are wrong with it, right? So what do you think is wrong with your industry? What do you think is wrong or could be done better by the people who are working within your industry? What is the stuff that fires you up? Now, in Andrea's case, and Andrea, I don't actually know what you do, but in your case, I would be talking about this. I'd be talking about the fact, and it's not about naming names, naming and shaming. I'm not talking about that at all. What I am suggesting is that you use this experience, tie it in with what it is that you're doing, and how and why people should, listen to you, do things your way, whatever that is. So my whole piece around that, as you guys know, is that I don't want you to be like me. I don't want you to try and be like Tony Robbins. I don't want you to try and be like Branson. I don't want you to try and be like Gary Vaynerchuk. I want you to be like you. I want you to share your opinions. Hey, Christina. Long time no see. So, I want you to be like you, but I think there's something really important. And in order for you to be able to stand out, yes, you need to be you, and that can be a little bit scary. I get it. But in order for you to stand out, you need to be you, okay? And one of the things that's really important, and I know that you have opinions, and when I was talking to the lady last night, her name is Jess, instead of saying the lady, her name's Jess. When I was talking to Jess last night, I was like, you know what? Share your opinions on this stuff. Talk about it. Talk about the stuff that fires you up. Talk about the injustices in the world, in your world, in your industry, because what that does, don't do it in a way that's, like I said, naming and shaming Andrea, like for example, or, getting on and browbeating people, or, being really aggressive, unless that's your style. And then in which case, go for it. But share your opinions in a way that really demonstrates to your people that you are the voice of truth. You are the voice of reason. You know your staff, and, these are the non-negotiables. So, this is what needs to happen. If you're not willing to do that, then go find somebody else to go and watch. And that's the kind of like the way that you position that. I trust that makes sense. So that's what we got a little ranty about. So when you see ads that come through your news feed and you're like, that's a bunch of bullshit, take a note. Maybe open up a diary or a notebook or something and just go, I saw these pants. I don't know if you guys have seen them, and I don't know why it came up in my feed. There's these anti-cellulite tights, like leggings, that are being advertised, and it's saying that they're using like anti-cellulite technology. And it's like, dude, seriously, in my view of the world, that's just a bunch of bullshit. That's hogwash. They're trying to take your money. It's false claims. It was another thing I saw and just made me scratch my head. It was like this little metal thing that you put in a sink or something, and it reckons that it washes your clothes or some shit. It was just shit. And it was like, man, the number of people that get taken for a ride based on these stupid little gimmicks is just really crappy. So you might see something like that, and then you tie it in, and this is really the closing of that loop. You've got to tie it in with your stuff. So either what it is that people need to do next, what it is that how people can sign up for free with you if you've got a lead magnet that you're putting out there, how they can learn and get to know you a little bit more. So this is where, and I talk about this in my book Visible, it's where you've always got to have, with everything that you're sharing, you've got to be really pretty obvious most of the time, actually, was right, this is the thing, this is the opinion, these are the next steps. That next step might be to opt in for something, buy something, sign up for something, watch again, unsubscribe, whatever the call to action is. So, and that's how you tie it in with your thing, right? So how this all ties in with me is I'm all about helping you guys be visible. So this is just a working example, okay? So I'm all about helping you guys to be visible. So this helps you to do that because you're not going to communicate your opinions in the same way as someone else, right? You're not going to communicate your personality in the same as somebody else, because no one else has your experience, your knowledge, your work history, your personal history, your qualifications or not qualifications, your history. Not one other person on the planet has walked the exact same pathway as you. And so when you're showing up, when you're sharing your opinions, you're sharing what you stand for, you're sharing what you're passionate about, it helps people to get to know you, right? So the big thing that's missing online these days, the way that I see this big gap that's missing, is that people aren't interested in building relationships. They're looking, for the most part, they're looking for the quick hack or the quick tactic that they can implement and use in order to actually, get a result. And the big, massive opportunity is that when everybody is running for the tactic, is that you can be talking about the other stuff. Just going to read the comment on my computer, Andrea, because I can't read all of it on my phone. Katerina, hey Katerina. Oh yes, I totally take notes on that kind of thing. Yes. Andrea, I'm totally understanding you. I agree there's a duty of care and more people need to think about this. I'm a DV worker and my business is a life coaching, the after process. Oh, wow. I think I've said this. I reckon you might have been on before. Thank you for doing the work that you do. As an ex-DV, in a DV relationship in the past, and it's really, really important that people like you are doing what it is that you do. So thank you for that. That makes me even more mad that you've been taken for a ride. Bugger. Ainsley, good morning. Hey. So I trust that makes sense, guys. You've just got to make sure that you are sharing your opinions. It helps you stand out. It helps you to really come across as being real online, which is another huge thing that is actually really missing. Life is too short to try and pretend to be someone that you're not. It doesn't work. So everything that we talked about last week was about alignment. It was about mindset. It's about making sure that you're following your intuition, that you know what your goals are, and all of this type of thing. So really, like this week, it's like, well, that's all excellent. There has to come a time where you're actually executing, where you do decide to jump off that cliff and leap, and you just kind of got to trust that it's all going to be okay. And the thing that I know that when you're showing up as you is that the people who love you will just love you harder, right? They will love you more. The people that don't just kind of fade into the background and they just end up being that stupid white noise out there somewhere. It's more important for you to just do what you're here to do, in my opinion. So there you go, guys. I am just going to let you know just briefly, I'm going to keep your eyes out for, oh my God, Nicola, let me start that again. Got completely distracted by my daughter walking across the hallway just over here with like an armful of kittens and cats and stuff when I thought she was in bed. So sorry about that. Over the next few days, I'm going to be releasing my latest course. It is really cheap. It is going to be fucking amazing though. It's called Rebel with a Cause, which kind of ties in with what we've been talking about and how you can really channel that inner strength to be visible, to be seen, to get clients, to get your message out there, to do all of that, make a lot of money, make a lot of impact, and have fun while you're doing it. So keep your eyes out for that. There's nothing you can do now. It's just keep your eyeballs out for it. And most importantly, commit to getting yourself out there. Get out there and make a difference. Get out there and really help some people and just get yourself visible and make it happen. All right, everybody, have a really beautiful and amazing day. And I'll talk to you, if not later today, which may or may not happen depending on how the morning pans out. Otherwise, have a whole lot of fun and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.